Welcome back, everyone, to Master of the Universe podcast. It's Joey Cage with the man beast Gabe and the wedding man. The groom? Was that the right one? The groom.
Man, you gotta be shitting me. That mother's strong.
That mother's strong, Christopher J. And today we're doing 1987's Dolls, or the people from Rhode Island and Connecticut, Dolls. Anyway, so this was Gabe's pick, man. So Chris actually was gonna mess up his streak. Tell us about the streak, Chris.
I mean, I've been on every horror podcast since we really officially started this deal. So, to think that I wouldn't be on one is, now chances are I'm gonna mess it up next week. But it's my honeymoon.
Yee. So, Gabe, man.
Yes, sir.
What's your story with Dolls, man? What's the backstory with Dolls, dude?
Man, the story with this is that this is like one of those movies that just creep the hell out of me. Like when I was younger, doll movies were like that was my horror. Like, that's what's hiding in the closet. That's what's gonna come out and get me from my toy box. Dolls, creepy little fuckers running around trying to get at your feet, while you're trying to sleep in bed. Those things scare the hell out of me. So, watching this when I was younger, this thing is it was just like weird for me. This Child's Play, Puppet Master, doll movies are just crazy. But Dolls is just like, now that I can watch it when I'm older, and even though it freaked me out, I can still watch it. But now that I'm older and I watch it, and I realize that this thing wasn't as bad as much as I built it up in my head. Like if you think about it, if you've seen like classic other fantasy movies, like you've seen like Legend, or you've seen like Willow, those kind of fantasy type 80s movies, Never Ending Story.
The Dark Crystal.
They had, Dark Crystal, right? Labyrinth. They had their really dark moments. Like Never Ending Story had Gamork, that evil looking wolf. I mean, that thing was weird as shit. That damn wolf. But and I honestly feel like Dolls falls right in line with those movies. It doesn't seem like much. It seems like just the idea of just like little things running around. But these things were porcelain dolls, and I believe somebody in their family collects these things. I know someone, not just a family member, but I have friends that also have like that family member that collects like a whole bunch of porcelain dolls. And you walk by those things, you can't help but look at them like, what the hell are these? Like, why would you even want this in your house? Nasty little things just staring at you all the time. I'm taking a shower, scrubbing my junk, and then this thing is like looking at me from afar, and I'm like, no, man, I can't look at that. Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny you say that. I think everyone might have a family member or grew up with somebody that may have had some kind of porcelain doll, man. Did you know anyone like that, Chris, in your family, or any relative that had growing up?
Oh, my grandmother had every kind of doll. I mean, my goodness, you go to her house, and she also is the one that at her house was that Chucky doll. Like literally, it was a doll from the 70s, like probably 76, 77. And it had been my aunt's, my mom's younger sister. And when I started seeing the Child's Play movies on USA, as in late elementary, early middle school, like that started fucking with my head, because like I would see that fucking doll look just like Chucky. But yeah, my grandmother she had porcelain dolls, ceramics. She had like the more like different material kind of dolls that looked more like Punch, and like she had everything.
Yeah, I remember seeing them at I think one of my cousins like collected them. And I think I had like a porcelain. It wasn't like a doll, but it was like a porcelain like clown that you can like wind up and he would play a song. I remember like seeing him as a kid and being kind of like freaked out because it was like a sad clown, dude. There's nothing scarier than a sad clown, porcelain. So
the darn clowns are all sad, and you're instead of feeling bad for them, you're just like creeped out, right?
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, stay away from that motherfucker.
Yeah.
I had always seen this cover at my video rental place growing up, like I had always saw it, and for whatever reason I liked the cover. I never saw the film. I don't remember why or what I was thinking, but I remember always seeing it, like thinking like, oh shit, you know. And it wasn't until like recently, maybe like a year or two ago, I forgot why I decided to watch it or someone recommended it, and I was like, let me check this out, and I really enjoyed it. You know, that first time viewing, I was like, wow, I didn't expect this, you know, because it starts off kind of not cheesy, but kind of like over the top, right? With the parents, the Christopher J of parents getting mad at Judy for every fucking thing.
Yeah. She has the evil stepmom, with the horrible dad. It just looks like they just don't care about her. They just don't want her around. She's just an inconvenience.
Yeah.
And here she's portraying like the cute, innocent girl with an imagination, saying like, yeah, I believe in fairies. I believe in, other fairy tale stuff. It has to be real. And, just like any other kid. And the parents, they just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They just don't care. The dad is so fixated on the stepmom because, well, he makes a clear point on it saying, we got money, we're young, we're rich.
Yep.
So he's thrilled about the whole money thing. So
and do you remember what the dialogue on that was?
I think what happened was that the little girl, the stepmom was upset because they were stuck inside the house after they ended up getting stuck in a hole. They got the car stuck in a hole, so they got stuck in the house. So they get invited into the house, and then the mom, the stepmom's making a point. She's all like filing her nails. She's all upset, and she goes ahead and says, "Man, we could have been in Monte Carlo right now, but if it wasn't for someone, you know."
You know what? We'll tear up the divorce settlement, and we'll ship her back. And you know what? Look, we're young. We still got time. We're rich. And he goes, "I'm rich."
Exactly.
Everyone in the film has their own everyone's in pairs. I didn't really notice it till now, but it's like, yeah, the mom and dad, they're assholes. They're together. There's Rolfe and Judy. They're together. They're the kids. There's the hitchhikers. The two British, over the top, sleaze bags that are just trying to steal. And then there's Gabriel and Hilary, the toy maker, and then the witch. Oh, he figured it out. And I like that they have those pairs. And how they're always together for the most time. Of course, you got the dolls. But yeah, I mean, at first, as much as I really hated the mom and dad, they were they're so entertaining that they make you want to see their comeuppance. And when it does happen, you kind of feel bad for them, even though they're like horrible fucking people. They're like the worst people. Like when the stepmom gets attacked by those dolls, dude, I was like because like I said, I saw it once, and then I'm watching it. You go from the beginning of the film where it's more laid back fantasy, and Judy's just kind of getting punked by the stepmom the whole time, and you go from that kind of shit to there's like the little dolls with the fucking, there's like a bone saw on the fucking the stepmom's leg. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, dude? They stab her in the back. I mean, they gave her a beat down, dude, but she deserved it. But still, it was pretty brutal.
Man, one of the dolls bit a big chunk out of her arm too. Like it was just a good chunk of meat that they just spit out. But for being the horror movie that it was, and as creepy as it was, it didn't have a lot of things like a lot of like a normal horror movie that you would think. And honestly, I kind of feel like this probably could have been on the PG-13 rating. If you notice, there wasn't no nudity as like you would think that there would be. This is horror, and usually people associate nudity with horror. This one didn't have that. As far as cuss words, even the cussing was like limited down to, it only had I think 3 bad words at most throughout this whole movie. The whole time was just them conversating about fairy tales, and The idea, there was just a couple of things I felt like it just didn't have, but it's not like it needed it though. It was still it was a good movie all on its own.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
But in the vein of that, the thing is, like, you notice, like, and this is something I picked up on instantly, like within 7 minutes of the movie. Like, the characters speak very bluntly to each other.
Yes, they do. They're very straightforward. There's not really too much beating around the bush or anything like that.
Yeah, no one's got any fucking filter. Everyone's just straight up, and I really like the film because it has like everything I love about horror movies. Like they have a haunted house. Well, not a haunted house, but they have this big old house, right? And I mean, it is kind of haunted when you think about it, just because they have the dolls there. Then you have dolls, which, like you were saying earlier, like that's the thing that scared the shit out of me as a kid. Chucky, like I was so afraid to watch Child's Play as a kid. Just seeing the cover, I was like, fuck all that. You know, you have a doll with a knife. Like I remember just seeing that and being like terrified. Like I didn't see that till like I was like 10, 11, or 12, you know, and like I was watching Freddy when I was like 5, 6, or 7. So it took me a while to like, okay, I guess I'm gonna finally see this Child's Play film. And but it has like the semi haunted house element. They got the now, like some of my favorite, like at the time, of course I didn't know, but you have, you know, Guy Rolfe from Puppet Master. And speaking of like Puppet Master, like this was distributed by Charles Band, who's known for making the Puppet Master, The Full Moon, but this one was Empire. And the director for this one, he did, I think he did Reanimator and From Beyond, which are like really badass movies we'll eventually get to. Stuart Gordon is his name. But I mean, like when I see this, like being a horror movie guy like I am, I'm like, man, this is like a pretty, you know, star-studded for that 80s cheese kind of cast. Like I said, then they have the guy that plays Ralph. If y'all have seen RoboCop 2, he's like the bad cop in that. So he's always like the lovable jackass, you know. Like even in like RoboCop, like he was a bad cop, but he was still like a nice guy, you know. And the same thing with this one, like where he's like a nice guy, and even though he kicks the shit out of the dolls, and I thought they were gonna kill him, I'm like,
he's like Paul Reiser in Beverly Hills Cop. You know, he's kind of a jackass, but you like him anyway.
Like you, Chris. Hello.
Can I just say though, like, gosh dang, like when you bring up Child's Play right now, like Child's Play did an excellent job with, like, when Chucky moves around as the doll. Like Charles Lee Ray is inside the doll Chucky, and he's making him move around, he's running away, and he's doing shit like that. Like whoever, like whatever amount of money they spent with graphics and whatever CGI they had back in '85, whatever, they did a great job with that. Like this, I'm not very impressed with how the dolls look when they're moving around.
Yeah, if you notice, like on some of the parts, like there was one of them that you catch with one of the girls when she's walking around with the lighter, and she's looking around, and then she catches her friend, you know, she looks all horrifying, you know, she looks like she's being turned into a puppet. You know, she ends up she starts setting the puppets on fire, because that's when they start coming out and they start wanting to attack her.
The cowboy puppet. Yep.
You can see those strings, and even one of them, you can even see the stick in the you can see the stick in one of the puppets' ass, you know, that it's jumping around and everything. Someone's waving that stick around, you know. It looks like what was it, the Muppets or something, you know.
Yeah, if you look close enough, you could actually see one of the puppets' penis.
Oh, yeah. It's not happy. It's not a good one, but yeah.
Oh my god. No, it's funny you say that, because I mean the thing with like Child's Play, it's an animatronic, so it was like a robot, you know, for the most part. But they had like stand-ins when it was like kids or little people doing the Chucky, you know, when he's like running across. So they did it really well. This is like stop motion shit, which is like Puppet Master. But this one, I was reading about it and everything, and it was like they were done filming, and it still took them like an extra year to get it released, just because of all the stop motion. And like, I mean, I agree with you. Yeah, Child's Play looks way better, but I love stop motion. Like I love like Jason and the Argonauts shit, you know. So like it does, like I know it doesn't look like fabulous, but I like, you know, it has a certain horror movie old school charm to it.
now, Gabe, you're my age, so you'll remember being in 6th grade when this went on. Okay. Gabe, did you see Forrest Gump in the theater when it came out?
No, not that one.
Okay.
As far as like certain movies, my sister was the one who was taking me to the movies, and so for my birthday they would go ahead and take me to go see a horror movie. That's the only ones that I would see like in the theater. Other than that, like if it was like a little family get together, like my nephews and my cousins or something, then we would go and watch like a Disney film, like Lion King or something, or Aladdin or whatever. But no, as far as like Forrest Gump or any other Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, no, that I couldn't see any of those in theaters. I had to wait to rent them out on Friday.
But you probably saw it like a Blockbuster video like a few months after it came out, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, so you were within a year of it coming out, you saw it, and then you probably also, because I mean I would have been in 6th grade, you probably were 6th grade too, unless you were born in early '82 to then 7th. But
he wants to make sure he narrows down the exact fucking year that you were in school, dude, so he can talk on this.
Oh.
Well, I'm class of '01, so like I don't know if you are too, but
I was born in '82, man.
Okay, so you're also class. Well, if you're February '82, you'd have been class of 2000.
Jesus Christ, Chris.
But anyway, no, but Gabe, you remember Weezer, Buddy Holly?
Yes.
And remember, like they transposed them in that fucking Happy Days episode.
Okay.
And I'm saying, like, so that was the same year as that was right after Forrest Gump. So '94 was that breakthrough year with CGI where they really.
When they super okay, Chris is over here. You remember Forrest Gump in the theater? All you had to say was that was pretty interesting with Forrest Gump. This was Chris's whole payoff was the where they have Forrest Gump stand in with JFK and shit or whatever. They're like, dude.
Not even that. Like, do you know what they had to do with the CGI computer? Like they paid the top of the line CGI guys to get Lieutenant Dan's legs erased out of the film.
Yeah, I agree. Like that was a pretty good leap from what they were doing, from doing like I was talking about, having the stick up his ass, compared to coming to '90s when they were really starting to intervene with all those CGI stuff. Like, I mean, that was kind of a breakthrough for them, especially with Forrest Gump. They did really well on that.
Yes.
But I mean, there's still some things that it just looked terrible. Like Anaconda is like one of them that just did not look that great. It's fun to watch. I enjoyed it. Jennifer Lopez and all that, but the damn CGI stick
when that came out.
Huh?
We were freshmen in high school when Anaconda was big.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Well, it's hard for me to kind of think of anything else on the spot, but yeah, there was a lot of pretty cheese balls. What about that other movie? I rented it, and I always thought it was a great idea, but I think I kind of felt like they went about it wrong. Last Action Hero. Remember with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, yes. Oh my God. Okay,
did you ever think about, like, I think about that damn movie a lot. Remember about, like, he was pulling out villains? Yeah, the damn villains, the monsters or whatever. They were trying to get the bad guys coming out of the movies to band together to go ahead and kill the damn kid, right? So why couldn't they make a movie like that, but for horror movies? Like, hey man, let's go ahead and get Freddy Krueger and Jason to work together. We're gonna go ahead and pull Pinhead. Just a good cheap way to go ahead and pull all these badass monsters. Oh, or demons.
There's
or whatever
an idea Joey had from New Nightmare, and how he thought they would have redone it. And then I don't want to go into the specifics because I'd rather have him describe his own idea. But I took his idea, and I went even a step further with it. I said, okay, they could have made New Nightmare be like Dream Warriors, where like they could have been like a second Dream Warriors, where like you're taking the real actors, because in New Nightmare, the actors play themselves; they're not playing their actual character.
Right, I've seen that movie a lot.
Okay, you've seen it, so okay. So then, like, you could take a lot of multiple actors from multiple Freddy films and have them playing them real selves, yet they band together to kind of channel their character that they had once played to fight this fake.
It was a genie portraying the evil villain from the movie. That's the way. What's his name? Craven was describing it. He gave the idea that there would, every so many years or a millennia or something, he says there's a story that a genie or something like that was passing by and it finds a way to break free.
Yes.
And he ended up saying that was true. He's taking on the life of Freddy Krueger, and technically that wasn't Freddy Krueger, but I get what you're saying though. Get like the superhero, get the actors to reinvent those superheroes from the movies, come back into life and fight that one evil demon. I'm talking about bringing all of these monsters and demons though. I want to see all of them band together and have all the heroes from Tommy Jarvis, the good one, have him band together with Nancy. And not your Nancy, the other.
Yeah, I was in a pop for the other Nancy, but okay.
Dude, Nancy Mata will beat any superhero villain.
She'll be every superhero villain. She'll be the leader. What was it?
Kingpin.
Evil Elvira. The evil Elvira.
Oh, Elvira's got nothing on her.
Wow, she's like really stacked or what?
She's got every kind of power you can contemplate. She's got it.
The power rings and all that.
How I broke free, I'll never understand it to this day.
Oh, man, she got a hold on you.
Man, Chris was in love, man. He was like, it was hard for him, dude, but he found something better, dude. Right, Chris?
That's fucking divine intervention, man. But I mean, even Freddy, Jason, the tall man, and Michael Myers, like. And she just looks at them and they run away.
They start shaking, dude. They start doing the shaking gif. Yeah, I forgot what I said about the new Nightmare thing, but I mean, because I thought that like Freddy. I mean, we're doing dolls, but
I know we're getting all sidetracked here.
Yeah, the thing about Freddy is like there's so much you can do with him. It's like we'll do a different kind of podcast on that, but fucking dolls, dude. So anyway, it's. I'm asking y'all because I was kind of like trying to figure out. So when they break, because I guess when you break the dolls in this film, like they die or something. Are they like? Because she said, what does she call them? Little fairies, right, or something like that.
She called them the girl called them little people throughout the whole thing. But then she was mentioning because if elves and fairies were real. Mm-hmm. I was kind of wondering that myself, because if you think about it, some of the damn dolls that ended up getting stepped on or crushed or whatever, they had like little people inside, little skeletons.
Yeah.
But if you pay attention, like towards the end, when Mr. Punch finally comes alive and he's like jumping around, and he gets in a fight in a scuffle, they break his face in, and surprisingly, there is nothing in there.
Yeah.
So now it's kind of making you think, like, I think it's like half and half. I think it's like half of these people are getting turned into dolls, while the other half happens to probably be maybe some kind of elves or fairies. But at the same time, you have to think about it. There was a scene where there's small little wooden soldiers. They're there and they're getting ready to shoot one of the travelers.
Oh yeah.
Well, the little wooden soldiers, though they don't break them open, they don't attack them or anything. Oh, I love that damn little horn, man.
Me too, dude.
I love that scene with the little soldiers and the gun salute and everything. I love that.
That whole drum and everything. Right?
That's when like the film really takes off. I was telling Chris about it. I want you to continue, Gabe, but before I forget, because I got the worst memory in the business. Yeah. Is like I was telling Chris, I was like, at first it's gonna start off and you're gonna think that the film's one way, and then it's gonna like segue like 30 minutes into this completely dark bullshit, and that's when Edith or whatever her name is, she or Edna, I forget her name, but
Judy, the little girl, right?
Yeah, well, no, the two.
No, Isabel.
Yeah, and Edith. Yeah,
It's Edith and Isabel.
yeah, the two hitchhikers, like they're trying to rob or whatever, and the part that gets over is when was when one of them finds the other one that you were talking about earlier, and like she's getting turned into a doll. And then she starts kicking all their asses and setting them on fire, and then she's like taking off, and you're like, wow, she's doing what you would think you would be able to do to a doll, an adult, right? And then she walks out, and then those fucking little army men are like just fucking blast her ass like with two different fucking salutes, and I was like, and I love the song because he does that ta 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 ta, and then like she gets shot, it's all in slow motion, and they basically go for another fucking fire. And it's like they changed the tone a little bit, but it's like I was like, wow, it sounds so evil and perfect, you know what I mean? And I just love that part, but continue.
No, I completely agree with you, man. That whole little action scene, she is whooping ass. She whooped out that her belt buckle, big old metal thing that says "boy toy" on it. She is whooping ass left to right, But honestly, like that one moment when she sees those little action figures, those little wooden army soldier dolls, she freezes up because she's like kind of curious, like what the hell are these guys doing? Because they start playing the drums, they start playing the trumpet and everything. And honestly, like anybody else, I like a deer in the headlights. I'm gonna end up being like that too. If I saw them doing something weird like that, I'm like, what the hell are they playing?
You'd pause.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that they actually had actual bullets in there to shoot my ass.
Yeah.
But getting distracted. But like, those little wooden dolls though don't get broken open. But I would assume because Gabriel and his wife, man, I forgot her name.
Hilary.
Rosemary. No, it's not Rosemary.
Hilary.
Hilary.
Yeah,
Hilary.
It's Rosemary. Yeah.
No, Rosemary is the evil wife.
Yeah, the stepmom. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the witch and the warlock. Or
Hilary.
Yeah. Hilary's is Gabriel's wife.
Yeah. That's fine. So what happens that they proclaim themselves as like witches. So who's to say that they just wouldn't, just kind of make them rise and just come to life for no reason? Because he did say he was a toy maker. And his dad taught him everything he knew, and they've been alive, or the way the Hilary ends up saying, yes, I'm an antique, you might as well call me an antique. I'm as old as the rest of these things, if not older.
Yeah.
So there's a good possibility that some of these things, whether if you want to say if there's fairies or what, I think the ones that are the dolls that got crushed and they have like a skeleton or something underneath, I think those were actual people that got turned into the little people.
Yeah.
And then the ones that were empty, like Mr. Punch, I think that happens to be something that they just brought to life. And not so much, but that's my suspicion. I mean, I had another whole question and I was kind of boggling my head on this one. And I even had to go to the wife just to get like a second opinion, and we were just kind of shooting back and forth trying to make damn sense of this. But what is y'all's opinion? Like, how are these people getting transformed into dolls?
Just the witch. I mean,
but me and the wife thought that maybe it was something in the food.
Dude, when you were asking that, I was like thinking in my brain. Because I always like put the shit on, and like I swear one of the things I was always thinking was who the fuck would eat that shit, that they're eating earlier, and it's like green, it's like a green like mush, and I'm assuming that exactly like you're saying because I didn't think about like, well, how are they turning into it? Well, when you asked, my brain started firing, and I started thinking, well, that fucking food. It only makes sense that if you ingest that, of course you have to be in the house because they talked about it. Oh, the house, it lets you, choose or whatever, if you're a good person or a bad person and all that. And then after that, then the witch is able to like basically just cast her spell and say, okay, now that you have that in you, now I can turn you into transform you. Like that's what she does to the dad. I don't know if you saw that part, Chris, but when the dad crushes Mr. Punch and then he fucking
I did see it.
The most
and then they come down the stairs all, look at the mess you've made, and then he's all, look, you witch, and he goes, oh, he figured it out. He's like, oh, it was a lucky guess.
Yeah, exactly. Whole Mr. Punch transformation, dude. I thought it was like, because I forgot about it. Like I've seen the movie like 2 times prior, and when he starts growing the nose out and the back starts hunching, I was like, what the fuck? Like it was as shocking. It was as shocking like the third time around as it was the first time, dude. Like I did, like Chris like said, no one saw that coming. I was like, holy shit. But
Rolfe, deep down inside.
You know.
I forgot.
you know, now that I think about it, remember when he was talking to, there was 2 things. When he said that, what was Ralph's like reaction? I don't know if that was a cut clip or what, but I kind of feel like he should have checked the doll to see if there was any kind of wind up or pull string just to see if he, could talk. I would have questioned that. And,
yeah.
And with him being such a good guy, he was such a good guy character in this movie. But his
white meat baby face.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just his his presence. He's just a good guy, and how he carries himself, and he jokes around, and those little comedy moments. I kind of thought to myself, and I was thinking about this. He kind of resembles, and I don't know if this is probably too much over the board, but I kind of feel like he's a little bit like John Candy. Yeah, you remember that guy, right?
Oh yeah,
yes.
Of course. He's a legend.
Oh, Uncle Buck, and he was in Home Alone, and yeah, John Candy, man. I kind of feel like he portrays him a bit, like he just kind of. I did. Chris Farley came to mind, but then I was like, no, Chris Farley is like way too over exaggeration.
Yeah,
that's kind of going. That's way overboard. But I kind of felt like maybe John Candy, he still has that comedy feel. He gives you the good guy presence. Like I can trust this guy, but he's goofy at the same time.
Yeah, John Candy, like he never like goes over the top, like you said, like Chris Farley. Like Chris Farley, I think if they told him like don't go over, it's kind of just be like a. Kind of a shy, guy or whatever. I think he can do it, but yeah, we always saw him kind of go over the top. And John Candy, like he always had that reserved, like kind of like joking, but not like He made you feel warm. He didn't make you feel uncomfortable. Kind of like, unless you kind of remind me of a gnat. You're not a gnat, are you, Bug? Wait a minute, Bug, gnat.
Yeah, he would say something, and then he had like that chuckle, right?
Yeah, that Chris chuckle, dude.
Yeah, it's welcoming, where you're just like, oh, okay, I get it. You're just being friendly. It's cool. Like it doesn't make you feel, like you said, it doesn't make you feel uncomfortable. You're just like, okay, we're all palling around. This is good. This is nice. I like this.
Everything's great, right, Christopher?
Right, exactly.
He's checking.
Yeah, I mean, but
he's
no, is it like John Candy and Chris Farley is like John Candy, like he made it all the way to '93 with Cool Runnings, like end of '93 was Cool Runnings.
Jamaican bobsled team.
Yeah, the Jamaican bobsled team. Yeah, it made all the way to, and then a year later he died. But the thing is, like, I mean, he was more reserved, he was more calm, more chill, and then Chris Farley, like, was pretty much the same guy. They're two, fat Irish Midwestern guys, but then they're both on Saturday Night Live, and they're both in comedy movies. But Chris Farley, like, for whatever reason, he, in his acting mindset mode, just took it to that whole other over-the-top level.
He did. That's for sure. Was there any dolls besides, Mr. Punch that like really stood out to y'all in this film?
I got the cowboy one.
Dude, exactly, right? The cowboy, the waist. He had like a little.
He's like, yeah. He was all in character and everything. I love that little cowboy one. Creepy as shit, but I loved him.
Yeah. I got a kick out of the cowboy one too. As he's going up in flames and he's still being a cowboy. Like I got a kick out of that.
Yeah, it was. It was just a good damn character.
He's still trying to get that lasso around like a motherfucker, dude.
Hey, have you noticed like how strong these little creepers are? If you notice, like in the beginning, like when Isabel, when they started attacking her, she falls down because they ended up tripping her. She falls down. They grab her arms and legs and they're dragging her. Now I kid you not, they go ahead and they pull her up right to the. And this is the first kill out of the damn movie. They go ahead and put her into the damn against a wall, and they're all like, you can hear like all the voices like, oh, let's get ready, 1, 2, and they ram her face.
Oh yeah,
into the border on the border of the bottom wall.
I forgot about that.
The border board. So they ram her face once. I kid you not, she already has a bloody nose. She's already bruised, and I was like, wow, that. I mean, these little guys, like, they really...
they fuck some shit up.
Master, yeah. It only took them, like, 2 or 3 times, and she was already, like, that was it. That she was done. It didn't even... I would think something that small would have to keep ramming her until they got a good amount.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's a flaw I point out with that. I remember that exact scene, and yeah, they rammed her face against the baseboard of the wall floor 3 times. Now it's like the way the camera shows you it doesn't make you in your subconscious mind feel like they're using enough force and leverage to cause that kind of bleeding and damage.
Yeah. She gets black eyes and everything. It's pretty insane, dude.
But here here's a second question that it kind of popped up through my. Again, I'm not thinking about this when I'm younger. When I was a kid and I'm watching this, and I kid you not, I did not just watch this once. I rented this from the store quite a few times until eventually I ended up buying the damn DVD. But the second question I had about these little guys is that I don't know, like how many, like I'm trying to formulate this damn question in my head. It made you think that you would think the way this story is told, this whole Dolls movie is told that is that they're taking bad people.
Yeah.
Now, technically, thinking about it, these the girl, what's her name, Enid?
Yeah.
The one who's friends with the blonde. She wasn't technically bad. She didn't want to do anything bad. She was just associated with it because that was her friend. You even saw the expression on her face when the blonde, Isabel, said, hey, I'm going to go ahead and ransack these old people. We'll steal some stuff, and we can make a lot of money. And Enid's like, no, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a good idea. Why should we even, do this? They're nice old people. No, we can make lots of money. They're going to die anyway. They're old.
Yeah.
So we can steal the tikis?
Yeah, and tikis. That's what she was calling them. So she says, well, tell you what. I'll go and steal them. You just go ahead and stay here and keep blasting the music. All right. You go ahead and go. Whatever. But you just see her face. She's just like really sad about it. She's not technically a bad person.
Yeah.
But yet they went ahead and they attacked her and they killed her ass. Now, so understanding that, like, it seems like they're trying to go after the bad people. I didn't consider Enid as a bad person, but they still went after her. They left the good guy, what's his name, Rolfe, and they left Judy. Now it started making me guess. I don't know if you caught this towards the end. They gave them an option though, and they said, you could stay here, be our toy, play with toys. And the young witch, or the other lady, Hilary, she ended up saying something in particular, saying, "Oh yes, a young girl and a young man at heart. Oh, you can stay here forever." I was like, what in the world? So it doesn't seem like it's necessarily just bad people. I think it's just whoever they kind of gravitate to, and I think the more or less the good people are giving more of a fighting chance, saying, we'll give you a choice. But again, I don't think Enid was a bad person, and I don't think she should have been killed. Because technically, she showed, though she was hanging out with the bad crowd, she shouldn't have been punished because she herself didn't do anything. So I guess my question is, do you all believe that they are just attacking just bad people, and was Enid bad? Or is this just, or is it like my thinking, like, I think they're going after whoever comes across this house?
Yes, okay, I agree with you, because the thing is, like, in the larger universal sense, are anybody that they killed really evil, horrible, terrible people? I mean, the worst is the stepmom, and even her, I mean, most people could tolerate somebody like that. They might not like her, but they don't think, she's not a fucking, murderer, rapist.
Let's have her jump out the fucking second-story window,
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, but like, yes, I agree with you that they left alive the people that they felt are the most at heart sympathetic to them as who they are as dolls, as living dolls. Because like even when you talk about Ralph, like, what's his name, Gabriel, he says, I'm sure your toys remember you. Toys have good memories, And he's talking, he gives this heartfelt speech about his dad dying when he was 9, and he had all these toys and giving him imaginary cookies and blah, blah, blah. And here's little girl, 7-year-old, what's her name, Judy? And and she's all, obviously as a young girl emotionally connected to this kind of thing. So they're giving a chance to the ones they feel are most empathetic to them as who they are.
Yeah, exactly. I'll say it is for sure flawed, because it was funny. It was like, what's his name? Gabriel was like he would say these like supposed to be like wise quotes or whatever, and some of them were pretty good. Like I can't like quote them for you exact, but I know one of them he had said something like, "Oh well, my daddy's," Judy says something like, "Oh, my daddy says whatever." Well, daddies can be wrong sometimes or something. It was just like, well, no shit, but who gives a fuck? It's like, it was just like, he was just trying to sound like, like he some wise old sage, and a lot of them just came off as just like funny. I was just like, man, like the film, it was trying to be something, but it's like I guess they kind of like rushed it. But I guess if you're gonna turn people into fucking dolls, I mean, I don't think you're gonna be like 100% good person either, to so of course the lines of good and evil are definitely, there's a lot of gray if you're a bad person or semi good, or like even Ralph, I mean, he was cool, I mean, but he ended up kicking the shit out of those toys and killed a few of them, you know what I mean? And hey, going off of those things, hey, he should have died because he killed a few of those elves or whatever, or fairies. So yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, so why didn't he die if like he killed them? I mean, everyone else, they got their ass kicked, like that was like a death sentence if you killed one of the fairies and shit, So I thought
that also kind of brings up another point, about the death scenes. Clearly, like, remember the mom? She jumped out the damn window, and when she showed up again later in not that much later in the movie, but she was lying in bed with the covers over her.
Oh, that's right.
And remember, the husband ended up coming in, and he was like trying to get fresh with her. He ends up pulling the sheet. She rolls over. Her head was all like bashed in with her eyeball hanging out. Mm-hmm. Clearly, she was dead, and so was the other girl. The other one that got shot, you can only assume she ended up dying. But these people end up dying, and they ended up getting turned into dolls.
Yeah, they all did,
but
right?
Yeah. But then they were alive. So did he bring them back just to
I think.
Do they come back to life as when they get turned back to dolls, like they re-heal themselves?
I think that's what it is that they don't let someone just die. But then I say, well, what happened to the original Mr. Punch if David ended up turning into Punch. So it's whatever's broken, we can all fix again. So I guess they just keep on resurrecting people, which makes sense what you were saying earlier, that maybe they're like some kind of dolls or whatever, because she's like, well, I'm as old as any of these things, and it makes you think like, well, maybe they have the power to just keep resurrecting themselves if they die or whatever. How long have they been living there, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah,
Right.
I thought that.
I think this is overall. This is overall a good fantasy movie, and like I was saying in the beginning, I kind of felt like this movie falls along the lines of Never Ending Story, Labyrinth, and though it's rated as a horror, and it I think in my opinion, though, I kind of feel like if there's any young kids that want to try to start something into horror and they want to get a little freaked out, I think this movie would be all right for them, because the killing scenes are not as graphic as I was thinking. I think this would probably fall just maybe a tad harsher than Are You Afraid of the Dark or Goosebumps, just a tad harsher, only because of the extra little bit of blood. But I'm pretty sure it's just creepy enough to where I kind of feel like you want to let some little kids get freaked out, you can go ahead and put this movie on. It gave me some good nightmares, and I still came back to it.
Good nightmares, oh shit.
Yeah, this thing, damn. That's what I said, man. You go ahead and you sleep at night. You don't want to stick your feet off at the edge of the bed.
Yeah.
Damn things will go ahead and snatch you right up. I kid you not, though. Now that I'm older, I can laugh about these things. But now the only kind of movies that actually really kind of freak me out now are like end of the world type of movies. There's some other ones that have like some good points where like I think we had a conversation about Paranormal Activity, and that had its moments too. But end of the world type of stuff.
Yeah.
And like Seeking a Friend for the End of the World, if you all see that, it's kind of like a drama kind of comedy, I guess. It's kind of hard to say. And there's a Canadian movie about the end of the world too, and those, as an adult, those end of the world type of stuff freak me out. But doll movies as a kid, this one definitely takes the cake on this one. And I'll always remember dolls, and it's good nostalgia type of horror for me. I'll keep coming back.
Like how it changes drastically when I put this on, and the stepmom. Well, Chris had mentioned it when I started laughing because Chris is ridiculous believe it or not, right? Whenever we tell him something, whatever it is, he's like, "Oh, am I supposed to just think it into existence?" He always says shit like that, right? And the dad, David's like telling her like, "You want to give me a little help here?" She's all like, "Unless you can levitate that thing, we're gonna stay here." I was like, that's exactly like Chris, like.
I get that from my dad though. Like my dad used to be all, "Well, okay, well you need to tell me. I'm not a mind reader."
You're like, okay, well that's how we're doing things now.
And so like they'll tell me, "Well, you should have done this, you should have done that." I'm like, okay. I don't have a plutonium-powered DeLorean, so I can't go back in time and make that happen.
Everything's some fucking other dimension and time machine. You were like, okay, Chris. But at the end, I kind of felt bad for everyone involved, damn near, because Gabriel's like reading. Like I thought it was pretty funny because he's like reading about. He's pretending that the dad wrote this note that he just left Judy with Rolfe. He's like, and I decided to go ahead, but he starts, saying or whatever, and then Rolfe's kind of like, well, what about the two hitchhikers, whatever? He's like, oh, we brought the two hitchhikers with us, and he's all like, well, let me read that. He just throws it into the fire, and they're saying kind of goodbye, and the dad David gets turned into the working Mr. Punch with the new outfit, the new wardrobe, and I kind of felt bad when he's like, okay, they're all see you later, and he's like, see you later, short stuff, and then like even Judy's like, huh, and I'm like, man, that's kind of fucked up. Yeah, I mean, I know David was a bad person, but son of a bitch.
Man, you just as like a quick tidbit on this damn movie, though, there was supposed to be a sequel to this. There was supposed to be a sequel, and how it ends is that the good guy and Judy end up, taking off like they do on the end of this movie. They end up going back to Boston. Part 2 leads up with the good guy, what's his name, Rolfe. He ends up, remember, if you end up hearing at the end, Judy's like, oh, yeah, I can't, he's all, I can't wait for you to meet my mom. She's like real pretty. Oh, yeah? Oh, okay. Well, then, as part 2 goes off, he ends up actually meeting the mom, and they say that he's supposed to meet the mom, and they're supposed to get married, or they do get married, and that's like her new stepdad. So and they're all like,
that
living that
good.
happily forever after kind of thing. Well, one day, who shows up on the damn doorstep is a package. What happens to be in the package? The damn dad and the stepmom. They're puppets.
Shit.
Yeah, they're supposed to be there, showing up. So now, and that was supposed to be part 2, Stuart Gordon, but, things didn't take off. Part 2 didn't happen. No green light. So that didn't. And it was sucks. Also, too, I had a chance to meet Stuart Gordon and Caroline Purdy. But they were supposed to be at Frightmare Horror Weekend. It's this horror convention in Dallas. They ended up canceling, and since we were talking about, they ended up canceling for whatever reason. Then we were talking about that we're going to do a review on this movie. I was like, oh, sweet. You know what? Whatever happened to the director? I remember that I was supposed to meet them, and they were supposed to go to this convention. It was going to be awesome. So I ended up looking up, and it showed that he ended up dying last year.
Yeah.
He passed away.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like, yeah, 72 years old, and he passed away. I was like, oh, son of a bitch. Thankfully, his wife, which is the evil wife in this movie, she's still alive. I would love to meet her. And, I'll do a drawing of Mr. Punch or something, have her sign it, or I'll give it to her or something. But, but yeah, I really want to, I was hoping to meet him, or, just like I said, his wife. But, that's sad, yeah. And I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but yeah.
It's okay, Chris. Okay, Chris is all the time, dude. So you're fine, dude. It's not a big deal. But what would you give this as a rating? I know it. I didn't know that till you said it. That she was married to the director. Yeah, because she came out in like all those Charles Band. From Beyond, she had like a part in Reanimator as like one of the doctors. That's crazy. Yeah, they all kind of in the same circle. So that's Reanimator is amazing. It's one of my favorite horror movies. But what's your overall thoughts and rating on this bad boy? Before we get well, you know what? I want Chris to go first because Chris. Go ahead, Chris.
Oh, I'll tell you straight up, 6.5.
Oh,
damn.
My heart right now.
And he's like, and he's sitting way back right now. He's like, ugh.
No, 6.5, and here's why I'm gonna say that, because I think the story is good. You're following it the entire time. This is not, and Gabe, you can relate to me on this because I've heard you say this and you've heard me say this. You don't rewind this movie looking at, wait, did I miss this? Wait, what did I miss here? Like, no, you're following it the whole time. You're engaged, so it's very engaging.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take fucking forever. It's 77 minutes, for fuck's sake. If you can't pay attention for 77 minutes, well, fuck you. But but the thing is, and I think it also does a good job, you know who all the characters and all the players in the game are before the supernatural shit really starts picking up. That's good. But
yeah.
It's supposed to be a horror movie. It's that cheesy brain damage kind of like, and then the CGI or graphics.
I love brain damage.
Yeah, no, brain damage. Brain damage is good because of what's his name? The fucking.
That's why they call Elmer's guy. What is it? Elmer? What's his name?
Elmer. It's Elmer's tune. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
the one.
Hi, Brian.
Hey, how's it going, Brian? How you doing?
He's just having a good old time talking to him, and then he's trying to explain. He's trying to explain to the damn girlfriend what it is. He's explaining the colors. He's explaining everything, but not.
Now I want to watch Brain Damage. See, I like. So 8.5, Chris. I'll go in the middle here.
6.
No homo.
6.5.
Oh, 6. Sorry, that was my rate. I was gonna give it an 8.5. So there you go.
No, but it's fine. But it's just like, okay, it's an engaging story. It's interesting. You stay engaged. You're not having to rewind to make sure you didn't miss anything because you got lost or bored or whatever. You know, it's and it's not too slow. And they introduce the characters before the shit picks up. All of that's great. That's great. But the CGI sucks. You know, Child's Play should have been the model.
There's no CGI here. It's stop motion.
And on top of that, it would have gotten in my head as like a fourth grader, but at age 38 watching it doesn't scare me at all. Like, I'm not going to be nervous getting up in the middle of the night to take a piss or get a glass of water because of this movie.
What about fake profiles, dude? And ex-bandmates? How about those?
Oh, that'll bother me, yeah.
No, for me, it's like, I kind of want to give it a 9, so it'll be like a 8.75, I guess, you know, if I'm going to make up my own rating. I really love Dolls. It's one of those things that I kind of like, fuck, I wish I would have watched it as a kid, because I enjoy the shit out of it now. I can only imagine, you know, fucking 13-year-old Joe going to go rent this thing and seeing it, like, and just enjoying it, you know, because I said, like, I love big old changeling type houses. I love the characters in this film. I love Dolls. I love, like, all that shit. And the stop motion, it's disturbing. Like, it's not supposed to look great. It's supposed to look disturbing, and that's what this film does, you know. I put it on. I always kind of like message Gabe and kind of get a feel and kind of like get a little like inspiration to want to talk about the film, start marinating on stuff, and I can't wait to talk about Haunt with him, because I really enjoyed that. He recommended that one also.
That is a great movie.
Yeah, I really want Chris to watch. I'm like, it's really good, Chris. But anyway, so with this one, I put it on. I'm enjoying myself, and it's like I tell you, like after like 30 minutes, because I put it on because I've seen it before. I kind of was aware, but you kind of forget little minor things. I'm glad I watched it like 3 times since yesterday, because I love to hammer home things and like to really be engaged when I'm talking about it. And I put it on the first time, 30 minutes in. I'm like, you know, like I like the fantasy elements, like you were talking about, you know, Never-Ending Story, The Dark Crystal. It's all that shit. But it has like those reanimator elements, and it's obvious because the director that they have like that over-the-top brutal, so it feels like the tone is like all over the place, but I like that. It feels like a kid's movie, and then it goes to a Puppet Master type movie, and then it goes to like it's a brutal movie, and then it goes to, and then they go back to, well now we're back to, you know, see you later short stuff, you know. It's like, what the fuck? It's all over the place, and I really enjoy it. That's why, like I said, I'm damn near 9 out of 10. It's just fun. And I put it on again because I had fun the first time. I really wanted to watch it again just because it really picks up. It's fast paced. I love Charles Band movies. I mean, we're going to be doing some more of his shit, but that's what I'm going with, man. But Gabe, go ahead and lay the smack down on Nancy, dude.
Ooh, man, that's it. It's over. So, like I said, I grew up with this movie, man. And I watched this several times. I had to rent it several times from the video store because, again, when I'm watching it, Dolls freak me out. I got nightmares from this stuff. This stuff was great for me. If I had a nightmare from it, I knew it was good because I was like, oh, Jesus. You know, what the heck am I going to do if I actually run into one of these little creepy things? The idea is to stomp on them, kick them, throw things at them. But more than likely, and I have a feeling, any other monster in real life, a werewolf, vampire, I feel like I can do something. I'll throw up a good fight. I'll run and hide and where they ain't going to find me for shit. But but I come across a damn doll, I'm having a heart attack. I'm probably just gonna die like in Child's Play 3, the damn general in the beginning. He just had a heart attack and died right there.
Yeah.
Chucky didn't have to do shit. He just had to stand there, and I was like, yeah.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's gonna happen to me. So, yes, I enjoyed the hell out of this movie. Pains me to hear Chris say, what, 6.5?
He's like, I don't even want to rate this fucking
again, thing. Yeah, and so, man, I don't. And would you give it 8.75?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to give it that 8.76.
Damn, just to get everyone over.
Yeah, just 1 point higher, just because, like I said, I this was like this is my never-ending story. This is my labyrinth, my Willow, all the classic, 80s fantasy type.
The disturbing. We grew up with that disturbing kids movies.
It is like it even shows you right in the beginning the damn dolls in the damn while they're showing the names, just showing the names of each person that's going to be in this film. And
yeah, that intro. I remember. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I was like, well, this is. I put it on like I hadn't seen it in forever, and that intro I was like, wow. I was like, I can't wait till this shit starts.
Yeah, I was like, why are they showing my grandma's porcelain dolls right now? I was like, I haven't even started the movie yet. This is just the intro. It's so creepy as hell. But
to be fair, like I popped like the punch doll saying to Rolfe, Rolfe, deep down, like that. That's the kind of thing. And like the way I am, I'm waiting for fucking Punch to lead this army of fucking supernatural dolls that are gonna go fucking kill Rolfe and shit like that. Like, and Joey knows this because he knows me, a little more. But like, for me, a horror movie, scary movie, whatever you want to call it, like it has to have the element for me. It has to, even at age 38. Like this is why I love paranormal, because my mind is very open to the possibility of that. But it has to make me think like, oh fuck, like get in my head, and it's got to make me nervous about waking up in the middle of the night to go get a glass of water. Like especially in this fucking U-shaped apartment, that I live in. Oh my god, like
you have to turn.
Like the first 2 times I saw the movie Ghost Ship, that just got in my head so bad. Like if you would even put one finger on me, I would be like, what do you want?
Fucking Ghost Ship, and then the remake.
On Ghost Ship, wasn't that the one that they had that one scene where that big barbed wire cut through everyone in half at that party?
Yeah.
And they all just start falling apart and guts and everything all over. That was I kind of remember that movie. That was pretty neat.
Chris was getting that. Chris, that's like Chris's horror, like Chris's like pinnacle of horror. He's like, dude, I'm not into horror, but I like Ghost Ship, and I'm like, what the? And I put it on.
But don't go on any cruises, huh?
Yeah.
No, but that movie and Insidious 1, shit like that, or like.
Oh, just to let y'all know, I just finished the drawing on Insidious. Also, I drew that damn evil red demon. He's awesome. I got to go and do some coloring on that guy, but. I don't know what his name is, but yeah, from Insidious. I just think just because he mentioned it.
The red-faced demon. I enjoyed the shit out of your Godzilla drawings. I was like, because I had just watched them too, and I was like, man, this shit is like, Kong and Mecha Godzilla all there. I was like, this is bad. And then you end up drawing. I was like, hell yeah.
Oh man, I kid you not. I saw that damn movie, and that movie dragged for me. Like I understand it was build up. And the whole movie, even when Godzilla and King Kong were fighting, I was like, oh, this is all right. I like the scenery. Hong Kong, all neon lights and everything. This is nice, but yeah, it's okay. Mecha Godzilla came out, whooped ass.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's the best part. That's the best part.
This is the whole movie. And then they ended up killing him. I got pissed, man. I was like, who do I need to write a letter to? I am upset.
Nancy. You have to write a letter to Nancy and shit.
I'm going to tell her something. I'm going to make sure she's aware that she should not have, killed off Mecha. He was everything right there. I was like, oh my god, fucking Green Power Ranger Zord. The Dragon Zord.
Dragon Zord,
drill tail. Oh, that's it, man. That's it.
It is Dragon Zord, dude. Now that you mention, you gotta draw the Green Ranger with Mecha Godzilla, dude. Just to, you have to.
I'll draw the damn green flute with them and everything, right?
Yeah, like I liked when Kong and Godzilla are fighting each other, like at the end, like not the first fight, but the last one. I was like, it's pretty cool, when they're with the axe and all that. But yeah, exactly. When Mecha Godzilla comes out, I'm like, oh man, like when he's beating Godzilla's ass, and then Kong comes. And I watched that shit. Like I watched the beginning, and I couldn't fin. I watched like 20-30 minutes, and I was like, I turned it off, right? And then I went back to it like the next day, and it got a little bit better. But that whole ending, I'm like, wow, it makes me want to really rewatch the whole thing in full to see if it changes my mind. I mean, it didn't, but the ending was still badass.
Oh man, I kid you not. My kid was like excited about this. He was just like, "Oh look, King Kong and Godzilla. I wonder who's gonna win." Dude, he fell asleep during this movie, man.
I told that kid.
I told him, man. I was like, dude, I woke him up too during the movie. I was like, "Hey, man, you're missing it. They just fought on the battleship." Oh, okay. I'll watch it. Yeah. And then he fell asleep again. I was like, really? But then when he got to that part, it didn't even matter. My kid was knocked out. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave him alone. But when he got to the Godzilla, King Kong, and Mecha fighting, dude, Mecha had King Kong on one hand, Godzilla on the other. He shot missiles out of his shoulder at one while he went ahead and started whooping ass with the other hand. I was like, OMG, man. This guy is owning. He is killer. Oh, I love him. Where's the nearest T-shirt that I can buy of Mecha Godzilla right now? I want this guy right now on a T-shirt. He is amazing. Yeah. You know what? Forget it. I'm drawing him. I'm going to make my own T-shirt. I'm done.
You don't need to rely on anybody.
Yeah, I'm so envious. He could just because I always think of oh, it'd be cool. Like it was funny before the shit had even came out. I was like, oh, it'd be badass. It's like you think about a certain image that Godzilla did this, and then Mecha Godzilla has this one little part here, and then you have fucking King Ghidorah here. And I was like, man, I wish I could draw. Cause I have all these ideas, and I'll fuck with, how I am with making our thumbnails with stupid shit. I'll do that with as best as I can, coming up with ideas. But it's man, I really wish I could draw something like that, because it would be really badass. Not this copy and paste bullshit or fucking whatever. Anyway. Christopher J, dude, this is your last podcast. I can't say as a single man, but as a not married man, dude. So let the folks at home know how you feel right after this.
I feel good. We had fun tonight. It was a fun movie we watched. I'm not going to be scared when I wake up in the middle of the night to piss or get water. But
what if you do? Okay. What if you do get up to go take a piss and Mr. Punch is there on the on the counter there? Just
then I'll be scared. But I doubt that's going to happen.
He's got one eyebrow up, dude.
Well, yeah. 48 hours from now, I will be a married man, and we'll be. You guys get to have a podcast to yourselves, or I can pick a movie, and then when I come back on the 29th, we'll resume right where we left off, and be doing podcast, three of us together, Three Musketeers, and it'll be fucking fun, and
Are you excited about getting married, Christopher?
Of course. I mean, the thing is, I want to live together. I want to live our life and move forward with our life and everything. But the thing is, the the whole planning and prepping for the wedding. Is, oh my gosh! Like I've been ripping my hair out today. You don't even know.
Well, that's the thing is you're going through all this, but just think about it, dude. I know it's a wedding, it's a time of celebration, but I know your heart's gonna be pumping until it's all said and done, and we're at the after party just chilling and having a few drinks, and you're there winking at Rose's purse, and all that good shit. So, I'm happy.
Honestly,
I'm happy you're happy.
I won't be. Well, thank you, but thank you. I appreciate that, Joey. But honestly, like I'm just telling you, me being me and me how I am. I won't be at peace until it's Sunday morning and we're on I-10 heading toward Galveston. Until then, like I'm gonna be like, oh God, this got to go right, and this got to go right, and this got to go. Like I'm thinking of all that shit.
It's all good, man. It's all good. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Me and Gabe, because Chris is to be on his honeymoon, getting a couple of squirts in, and then I'm winking at him, right, Chris? We're going to be doing Haunt. So I should start announcing what we're going to do the next week so people kind of can watch it, right? So we're going to be doing the film Haunt, released in, was it 2019? Something like that?
Yes, sir. 2019.
And so me and Gabe will be doing it. So when you're listening to this, it'll actually be, I don't know what the fuck. It'll be like May because I have to release Phantasm 5 next Friday. And then you'll be listening to Dolls. And then you'll be listening to Haunt, so whatever that is, whatever that coincides. I'm trying to release everything. I'm trying to record on Thursdays, have the prior podcast from the last week uploaded on Friday, the next day. So tonight I'll be editing, telling Gabe what to draw because he draws badass shit, and I'm always like a little schoolgirl whenever I see it. When I see his little updates and shit, I'm like, very, very nice, very nice, doing the old Christopher J. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Christopher J, go ahead and give him your piece, son.
Peace.